Welcome to this deep dive. You sent over some really interesting material, and the big idea, the one that really stood out was neurodiversity.
hmm
This idea that, our brains just naturally work in different ways.
That's the core of it, yeah.
So today, let's try and unpack that a bit. What does neurodiversity actually mean? Where did the idea even come from? And what kinds of differences are we talking about?
Okay.
The aim here is really just to give you, the listener, a clear picture without tons of jargon.
Exactly. We're looking at the natural variations, how brains are structured, how they function. It's not about saying one way's better or worse.
Right.
Just recognizing that diversity is inherent in our neurobiology.
Okay, so the term itself, neurodiversity. One of your sources really stressed this natural variation angle. It suggests things like, say, autism or ADHD aren't just problems we need to fix.
Precisely. That's the shift the neurodiversity movement wanted. The term came from there, really, to push back against seeing everything purely through a medical lens.
A medical lens
Right.
that focuses on deficit.
Deficits or disorders. Instead, this view says, hold on, let's also look at the unique talents, the different perspectives that come with these neurological makeups.
Okay, like what? Can you give an example?
Sure. Think about some individuals with autism. They might have this incredible attention to detail that's hugely valuable in certain jobs, like quality control or data analysis.
That's a really good point. So this neurodiverse spectrum, it sounds pretty wide-ranging. What sort of differences fall under this umbrella?
It is broad, yeah.
Mhm.
We're talking about conditions like autism spectrum disorder, maybe different communication styles, intense focus areas. Then there's ADHD with differences in attention, executive function,
Okay.
dyslexia, which affects reading, dyspraxia, impacting motor skills, even Tourette syndrome with tics.
Mm.
It's basically acknowledging all the different ways brains can be wired.
And this is where it really bumps up against the traditional view, doesn't it? The medical model you mentioned.
Exactly. That model often defaults to diagnosis and, treatment or trying to cure things.
Right.
The neurodiversity movement champions something else. Acceptance.
Yeah.
Accommodation. Not solely trying to fix differences, but seeing them as, natural variations, like biodiversity.
Biodiversity. How so?
Well, in nature, a range of traits often makes an ecosystem stronger, more resilient, right?
makes sense.
It's kind of analogous. A range of cognitive styles can strengthen society.
Okay, I get that. So how does this thinking play out in, say, education?
In schools, it means shifting towards more inclusive practices, things that help all learners, really.
Like what, specifically?
It could be offering different ways for students to learn the material or different ways to show what they know, maybe providing sensory options, respecting different communication styles.
Mm-hmm.
A student with dyslexia might thrive with audiobooks alongside the printed text.
Right, options. And it's not just schools, is it?
Yeah.
What about the workplace? Seems like businesses could really benefit from embracing this, too.
Absolutely. Companies that value different ways of thinking tap into a much wider talent pool. They get different perspectives. Someone with ADHD might be fantastic in a role that's fast-paced and needs quick thinking. Someone with autism could bring amazing focus to detail-oriented work. It fuels innovation.
Ah, okay. So that links to the idea that neurodiversity is often connected with creativity and innovation. People thinking differently come up with different solutions.
That's often the observation, yes. Different wiring can lead to, novel approaches. Thinking outside the box isn't just a phrase. Sometimes it's how someone's brain is naturally inclined. If you look back, many innovators probably had traits we'd now call neurodivergent.
Interesting. But there must be misconceptions, too. What's a big one that needs clearing up?
A key one is stereotyping, assuming everyone within a group is the same, like thinking all people with ADHD are hyperactive or all autistic individuals avoid social contact. It's just not true.
Right.
Neurodiversity highlights the individual. Everyone has a unique profile of strengths and challenges.
And finally, what about identity? How does understanding all this affect how someone sees themselves or advocates for what they need?
Oh, it can be hugely empowering. For many people, discovering the concept of neurodiversity helps them reframe their own experiences.
In a positive way.
Often, yes.
Right.
Understanding their strengths, their challenges, maybe connecting with others, it can really boost self-awareness and make it easier to ask for what they need, whether that's in school or at work or just, in life.
Okay, so let's quickly recap neurodiversity.
Mm-hmm.
It's about seeing brain differences as natural human variation.
Mm-hmm.
It challenges that old deficit-only view and points out the unique strengths and perspectives these variations bring.
Exactly right. And it really pushes us to think about how we can make our environments schools, workplaces, communities more inclusive, because that benefits everyone.
That leaves a final thought for you, the listener. How might understanding neurodiversity change how you see the people around you? And how could welcoming these different ways of thinking spark more creativity, more inclusion in your own world? Definitely something to mull over.